this is just a microphone test really. Trying out the DJI mini mic. I don't know which version it is, it was the cheaper one of the two. Just got it inside my helmet. I want to test to see what it comes out like. New Year's Eve 2025. Cold day, cold but sunny. Probably about 4 degrees at the moment, maybe slightly less. But the sun's out. Roads don't look too bad. The plan is just to add some commentary to some of my rides. I don't really expect anybody else to be watching these. These are just really for me, just so I can remember what I was doing, what my thoughts were at the time. But I like to document what I'm doing. So I'm out on the KTM 390 Enduro R 2025 model. I got this bike October 2025, 4th of October I think. I initially put my deposit down in end of February 2025. I'd read up everything about this bike that I possibly could. I like the look of it. I thought it looked great. I like the specs. I thought it suited what I wanted the bike to do. Is it an enduro model? No, I don't think it is. It's a dual sport, and it's a heavy dual sport, about 165 kilos approximately. I don't know if that's wet or dry or what. It's probably more a lightweight adventure bike, I suppose, than anything else. Lots of comments online about would I buy a 390, why not just buy a 690? It's lighter, more powerful. Well yeah, it is, it's almost twice the price. This was 5,700 out the door, delivered, as we say in the UK. 690 brand new is about 10 and a half, I think. Is a 690 a better bike? Well, for certain aspects, of course it is. But for a lot of people, well, for me included, I don't need the extra power. I've got other bikes. I want to go fast. I'll ride one of them. I particularly wanted a dual-purpose bike, something that I could come out on days like today. I love riding. I'd be out every day if I could. I think it's very good for my mental health. It's probably good for everybody's mental health. So to have a bike that I can just come out on and not worry too much. I mean, I'm fundamentally lazy. I don't like cleaning bikes. I love clean bikes. And interestingly enough, that's something I've had to get my head around. I've gone out and I've bought a brand new bike, and I've taken it down some trails, and I've fallen off it. I've probably fallen off it half a dozen times already, and it's got scuffed, it's got scratched, it's got dirty, it's got muddy, and that's just something I've had to come to terms with. Only £5,700. Yes, it's budget friendly. Is it though? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I still think that's a lot of money. It took me a long time to earn it. I'd be even more upset if I threw my Tiger down the road. Not that I'd ever go off-road on that. Got to be a little bit careful today. The roads are a little bit greasy. I've just fitted some more off-road focused tyres. This bike comes with Karoo 4s, and I actually quite like them. For a 50-50 tyre, I thought they were bloody good. The only thing they don't do is mud. They don't play nicely in the mud. fair, I don't really know what does. You're going to need a proper knobbly for that. They just get clogged up and the tyre becomes a slick. So I changed them, and I've got Mitas Enduro XT Trail Plus on the front. It's an 80/20, and on the rear I've got the Mitas Enduro Trail Non-Plus, so that's a 70/30. Neither are the Dakar models, so they're not the heavy duty, stiffer carcass. So I've got to be a bit careful on the tarmac. Cold, wet, slimy tarmac under about 7 degrees. Tyres just don't wake up, they don't grip that well. I was out the other day doing a Christmas ride out with the West Kent TRF guys, and anybody who's not a member of the TRF, I would highly recommend joining. I think they're fantastic. It's about £55 a year, I think, and that money goes towards helping keep the trails open. As we all know, there's a lot of people that want to shut these trails down, and the TRF guys go out there and they physically clear the trails. They cut down any trees in the way, they clear the brambles. They also fight the court cases when landowners or whoever try and get a trail shut. TRF turn up, go to court and fight it, and that costs big money. So I heard the other day there's between 10 and 14,000 members, and I highly recommend, as I say, everybody joins, pays their 55 quid, goes out on rides. I've been out on 2 rides now. I've been out with the East Kent guys and the West Kent guys, and both fantastic guys and girls. 99% of them better riders than me, so I can learn a lot from them. So yeah, I was out with them riding the other day. It was about 6 degrees. The roads were similar to this actually. It was less bright, less sunny, so maybe they weren't quite as dry, but I was getting the rear spinning up on the tarmac. In off-road mode, which I'm on now, I've configured it so I don't run traction control. Well, I don't think I do. Maybe I do, but it's certainly not as invasive or controlling as the on-road traction control. I don't run ABS in the off-road on the rear. Even on the road, I prefer to feel what the bike's doing. The 2 modes, off-road and street, they call it. They do have slightly different engine maps, and I find that the off-road is more suited for lower revs, between 3,000 and 5,000 RPM. It feels much more punchy, it really does. And then street mode, it feels more punchy between about 6.5 to about 9-10 to the red line. Talking of the engine map, I had this one redone with the recall in November. I didn't really have the stalling issues that other people had with this bike. It was brand new. Yeah, I didn't have the stalling issues that other people had with brand new. I had it stalled a few times. The day I picked it up, took it out of the dealership in Maidstone, round the one-way system, and within half a mile in traffic it stalled. I wasn't overly concerned. I mean, these single-cylinder engines, they've got very light flywheel. There's not much mass there to carry the engine over the idle strokes. I wasn't overly concerned. I then had it stalled probably another 4 or 5 times the first 600 miles before I had the first service done. I had a mate ride it and he had it stalled on him. Being a little bit ginger around these curves, these conditions. I don't want to push it too much. So I had the 600 mile service done, and it came back, and then I fitted a Cougar Decat header pipe and Cougar LMU, I think they call it. Basically it's a little device that plugs in between the two lambda sensors and the bike's ECU. Basically frigs around with the information and fools the ECU into running slightly richer. These bikes are obviously Euro 5 plus now. They're running so lean. Yeah, we've got to save the planet, I get that, but I think there's other ways of doing it rather than making a 400cc bike run so lean that it barely wants to run at all. So I fitted the Decat pipe and the LMU unit, and it made a huge difference. Oh, I also fitted a DNA air filter stage 2 kit, and the stage 2 kit comes with two air filters. One which replaces the stock paper element filter, and it basically, you know, guys in this country with no K&N filters, it's like a K&N style filter. It's cleanable and reusable, and just promotes a little bit more airflow. But the stage 2 comes with a second filter, and the second filter actually replaces the side cover of the airbox. Again, allows more air in, gives you more of a bar. You can hear that? I like it. Why do we ride these bikes? Because we like the way they ride, we like the noise, we like the sensation it gives us. So yeah, I like the noise. I was told actually online that I'm going to ruin the bike fitting the stage 2. It's going to let air dust into the engine, and it's going to ruin the engine. I don't know. I mean, it's literally an air filter. Its job is there to filter the air. And as I say, it's not the primary filter anyway, it's the secondary filter, so my thinking is actually it's not going to be a problem. Obviously for water crossings, if I'm going to ford the River Thames or the River Nile, I will put the stock one back on before I go out and do them adventures. But for road riding especially, I like stage 2 on there. It takes me about 2 minutes to change. It's 6 or 7 bolts. Yeah, it's not an issue. So about a week and a half after I fitted the Cougar, KTM brought out their engine map recall, and so I dropped it back down to my local dealer. I obviously took off the Cougar Decat and the plug-in LMU. I'm not sure if it would affect warranty, but it took me 45 minutes, so it's not worth the risk. Took it off, took it back in, and they did the engine remap, and what a difference that made, what a difference. The bike felt 10% more meaty in the low revs, between 3,000 and 5,000 RPM, so much more. And it's probably to do with the Euro 5 compliance. They run the bike so lean, that's probably where they test them, between 3,000 and 5,000, so they run them so lean there. But now, so much better. It's not been on the dyno. I don't know what extra power it's putting out, between 3,000 and 5,000, but my bum dyno tells me that it's much better. So then after the remap, I wasn't sure whether I needed to fit the LMU device again, but because I'm running the Decat pipe and the DNA air filters, it's getting a little bit more air in, it's getting a little bit more air out. That will lean the mixture out of slightly. So anyway, I put the LMU back on, and it's, yeah, again, it's a slight increase. It feels better, it feels smoother. So I'm happy with it. In a minute, if I remember, I run it at 3,000 RPM. open the throttle, see what it feels like. I've got the heated grips fitted. I think they're worth every single penny. I've also got my heated coat on, my heated jacket, my Keys heated jacket on. I do suffer with the cold. I can't bear to be cold these days. I haven't got my heated gloves on today, but the heated grips are doing a good job of keeping my hands toasty. That and the wind deflectors for the bark buster. Yeah, so we're in 5th gear. Let's drop it down to 30 miles an hour, just over 3,000. Really starts pulling. Got to be a bit careful on these tyres with the speed. I do tend to run too fast on this really. I like doing 70, 80, 85, even more miles an hour, and these tyres they won't cope with that. They get chewed up. So really I want to be between 55 and 65. I have got the quick shifter fitted on this. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I know people moan about KTM fitting the hardware but not activating it and then charging you for it. I've got a different view on that. It's obviously cheaper for them to build one production line, build one bike with all the hardware that's required, and then just charge extra to activate it. Now what they could do obviously is just send it out the factory with everything activated, and instead of the bike costing 5,700 it might cost 6,700. Now some people will want the quick shifter and are happy to pay for it. Some people don't want it and don't want to pay for it. So therefore, why should they have to be forced to pay for it? I love the way that this bike handles on the road. I buy this and not something like a KTM 690 Enduro R? More power, lighter, similar-ish I suppose, but everything I read about it wasn't fantastic on long road journeys, and the reason I wanted a dual sport is I've got a trip planned. We're going to Italy next year, down to the French Alps, down through the French Alps to Italy to the Italian Alps, and we're going to do the Italian 10 and the fort trails up to all, I think they're Napoleonic forts. Something I've always wanted to do. I'm looking forward to doing it. Now it's about 660 miles down through France. And I'm going to ride the bike down there. I want to ride the bike down there. To me, that's all part of the adventure. So I needed a bike that's 330, 350 miles a day comfortable. And this is comfortable. Did I buy the Enduro R and not the Adventure R? I mean, after all, the Adventure R's got the bigger tank, it's got the windscreen. Surely that would be a better bike. Well, it would for the road part of it, but I also intend to do things like Salisbury Plain trails. I want to go to Wales, do some trails there. travel around and do a lot of trails, and for some of them it won't be practical to ride there. So I either had to get a trailer to trail the bike to say Wales, or a van. Now I don't have enough room at home for a trailer, so I needed a van. I didn't want a big van. I wanted a vehicle that I could use as a daily as well. So I didn't want a transit size van, a big transit. So I wanted a Volkswagen Caddy, a long wheelbase one. I like Volkswagens. I'm a bit of a Volkswagen fan. So I bought a Volkswagen Caddy van. And the only way to get one of these in the back of a Volkswagen Caddy van is I have to compress the suspension with ratchet straps to bring it down to be able to get this in, and then even then it's millimetre perfect. So the Adventure R just would not have fitted in there. Who's in there today? Let's have a look. A few bikes. Go up to the roundabout, turn around and come back, I think, have a coffee, warm myself up. So this goes in the back of my Volkswagen Caddy van, which is perfect. T3.